Hello and welcome to Radiant Realization with Namrita. Here we deep dive into captivating conversations about life. Today I have with me Deepti Garg. She is life coach for single mom. Deepti, welcome and I'm pleased to have you.
Thank you so much, Namrata. I'm also very honored to be here with you today.
Deepti, I would like to know from you what got you started to mentor, guide single mom, and you decided to take this as your coaching niche.
Actually, I faced 4 years back when I lost my husband due to cancer. I found it very difficult to survive as a single mom because I realized that society in large is not ready to accept, even for ourselves, we are not so ready to let go of this traditional way of living life. And so I had a lot of struggle. I found that people around us are not equipped with the right tools to handle the emotions we have. And so I did certificate in life coaching. From there on, I um, try to find out how best we can not only survive, how can we be the best version ourselves and we live a fulfilling life. So when I realized that, and when I looked around myself, I found a lot of people are struggling, especially during COVID. Many people lost their partners, and that's where I realized that I would love to help people like me and who are single and they still want to live a fulfilling life. That's how I started. Yeah.
Niti, in your experience, what are the common emotional challenges that women go through when they have to take up responsibility of a single mom?
When you get into motherhood, you don't get into it thinking that you have to do it alone, right? So when it comes to taking up this challenge alone, it is actually a big challenge because that father figure who is not present, who's supposed to do XYZ, you find it very hard to do all those things. Okay. So that is the biggest challenge, to first of all accept and to say that it's okay. This is what the present situation is, to accept the present situation and then move on and say, of course, today I may not be ready to take up certain, not ready to do, like for me the biggest challenge was how will I travel alone, because all my life I've been thinking, when I do this, when this is completed, when I finish working and all that, I will start traveling. And so for me the biggest challenge was how do I now travel alone, because I've never been sent alone to any place. Though I've been living in a foreign country for past 22 years, I have international experience, but still, even after that, I wasn't equipped to travel alone, to get an accommodation and stay in a hotel alone with my child and all that. So when you get into motherhood, you don't get into this institution, uh, this motherhood thinking that you will be taking up this challenge alone. So that is the biggest challenge, that how do I make sure that my child and myself, they survive through this struggle. Okay. And then we come out as a winner. Why? When a child lost one parent, then how do I make sure that she or he doesn't loses on the other parent as well? Okay. So that was the biggest challenge, to make up for the lost parent as well as to become the best version of ourselves. So that was the biggest challenge.
And in your experience, from society's perspective, what are the misconception that society carries around single mom?
This is the society is so into, like, men driven, right? We all say that men can do certain things which a woman cannot do. So when as like for me, I never wanted the society to, मेरे को एक बिचारी की तरह देखे. Okay, so that was my biggest challenge, to tell the society, okay, I have my struggles, I have my shortcomings, that I don't have a partner, but still I'm capable of handling everything, and it's a matter of time. So that is the biggest challenge. Like you have been asked, will you travel alone to that place? Will you attend that? Will you be able to stay alone? Will you be able to look after the child alone? So society keeps questioning you, and you have to be strong enough to say yes. If not today, tomorrow I'm sure I'm on that path, and tomorrow I'm sure I will walk that path. Okay, so that is the biggest challenge from the society, and it's a very hard one. It's a very hard one, because you meet all kinds of people. They look at your dressing, they look at your activity, they question everything, and then they tell you, what's the big deal, you are staying alone. Many people do this. So there's like mixed emotions from everywhere you get. So you have to be actually very strong and say, no, this is my present situation and I accept it, and you better accept it or not accept it. I don't care. So that is the biggest challenge. Yeah.
Agreed. So, Dipti, in your experience, while last 4 years you are handling all the responsibility single-handedly, where did you feel that for this I want my partner's support, or where you think that taking up few activities feels very challenging for you?
To tell you honestly, Namrata, you miss your partner every single moment. You miss the father figure for your child. You miss your partner every single moment. Is now it's the matter of time that you say you earlier you used to miss like 100%. Now you keep reducing it and say, no, at least I'm surviving. I have done this. I'm little confident that I can move on. So it's not that we don't miss the partner, because that is how we have seen all our life. We have seen, we don't know, we actually don't know how to survive without a partner. We haven't been taught, we haven't seen. So it is there, but over the time it reduces. Time is of course a healing factor, and as you progress you realize that, okay, I can survive 80% of the time. 20% of the time I will still feel that the partner is missing. Yeah.
And Dipti, now that you are managing household responsibility, your personal life, also your professional life as a coach, along with that you are raising your daughter. So how are you managing all these things? How are you balancing different demands of life?
So life coaching taught me that there is nothing called balancing actually. Sometimes you have to give your 100% to your personal life. Sometimes you have to give 100% to your professional life. Okay. All you can do is you can make up for the lost time. Like suppose for 1 week, I'm too busy to look after my child, and my child comes and tells me, okay, mama, let's go for Saturday. Let's go and have watch a movie in the theater she's been wanting to watch. So I'll tell her that, okay, for sure we will do it on Saturday, but you give me these 3 days where I'm going to focus completely on my work, and then not only I'm going to take you for the movie, let's have a nice dinner at the place where you have been longing to have, or you can get your pizza or whatever. Okay, so I will make up for the lost time. But if you say balancing, there's nothing called balancing, because if you do A, B will suffer, and if you do B, A will suffer. So what you do is you balance this way. You make up for the lost time. But every day you can't think of balancing every day. Every day it's going to be a balance. I'm going to pack the fabulous lunch for my child. I will be there for her when she comes home from school. and I'll be, my boss will be okay, and I will be finishing all my works. There's nothing like that. We have to understand we are a human being. We have limited energy. We have limited resources, and then we do best we can. That's what I have learned.
Do you feel financial pressure of meeting household expenses, school fees, education of your daughter, your desire, your expectation about dressing well, or any hobbies that you would want to pursue?
Of course, financial pressure is there. Of course, now, like, you are not doing 50-50, you are doing 100%, and you have your all kinds of challenges, emotional challenge, physical, your body can work to a certain degree. But what I have learned is that it's not the best way to raise a child by giving her or him everything she desires. Okay, let them learn to earn it, not earn it in the sense that you work and earn it, but you also get into discipline. You see your mom early on, making the ends meet. So that is also a very big learning experience for them. Okay, so what we do is we plan a lot of things. We plan, okay, we have to do this. How do we do this? How do we fit this into our budget? Okay, and eventually the child comes around. He or she also starts enjoying, because what they get is what they have earned. They have earned through discipline or through some other activity, and when you get some bonuses, then you really celebrate. Okay, so that is, life coaching has also helped me to understand these things, that it's not that if I'm not able to buy you a iPad, you just want it, then let's plan for it and let's see how we can accommodate, and you can let mama work a little extra so that she understands that why mama is not giving me time, because she's still doing something for me. So when we do that, when we sit together, when we communicate, those are the challenges which are easy to meet. Of course, there are still challenges.
Do you ever feel guilty that you're not able to do your best for your daughter?
There are days, Namrata, I'll tell you, there are days where I feel that. But then again, if I understand that my emotional situation will also affect her. So if I keep feeling that, she will eventually start feeling the same way, and it will be difficult to guide her. So what I feel is that life throws challenges at you just to make you better. Okay, so I go by that. Um, that if it is throwing challenges at my child because she is lacking somebody in her life, then it's fine. She's becoming strong. She is learning how to handle herself at an early stage, which is quite a blessing. So what I always do is turn around things. Instead of feeling guilty, I say this is the present situation and this is the way to move on. Honestly, life is not always fair, and I refrain from seeing people around me and say, oh my god, look at that couple, they are so happy and I miss this, and I get those photos with my child which I want. So I think I'm doing well in that area, that I don't let this guilt come in. Initially there was a lot of guilt, but I trained myself now not to feel that way.
Dipti, in your journey as a parent to a child, how do you deal with this loneliness? As a couple, both of you would have a lot of dreams and aspiration for your child. But now handling this journey as a single mom, at some point in time, loneliness would creep in, right?
Yeah.
How do you handle it?
Yeah, that's you can't handle it actually. I should say, I wouldn't say that I have crossed all the hurdles. I wouldn't say, but what I would say, that it's always that, and that was one of the reasons to start this life coaching for single mom, that we create a community where we connect more with people who have similar problems. Like in some countries outside India, there are support groups where you meet similar people and you can create a bond. Unfortunately, that is not yet in India, or maybe I am not aware of it. So we do feel that I'm lonely. That comes in. There are certain, when you have a partner for some time, you have certain areas where, it's your partner who will be doing that for you. You don't do that part. Like for me, my husband was very much into giving us medicines. Whatever happens, he will have a medicine ready, and he knew that I'm not going to take that medicine myself. He will bring with water and say, take it now, those kind of. So I'm not used to taking medicine myself. I'm used to him giving me that medicine. But again, then, like I said, life is not fair. You have to move on with whatever you have. So loneliness is there, but if we have people with similar situation, then that reduces. So I found that community where we talk, where we discuss, where we, know that we are there for each other. So I think that is the best way.
And Niti, so while the child is growing up, when the child is with mom and dad, they are at their best. And it also helps in building their self-image, self-esteem. But now, as a single mom, what are you doing to ensure that the self-image of child remains intact, irrespective of absence of father figure?
That is not, I shouldn't say that is a big challenge. That is not a big challenge, because at the end of the day, the child idolizes their parent. Okay, so if I somehow tell them that, there is something missing in their life, that's what they will feel eventually. Okay, so that's why it is very important that everything starts from the mother. What I feel, eventually my child feel. And if I feel guilty, I'm going to, somehow try to compensate that. But I don't do that. I don't keep bringing up that subject, that had your father been here, we could have done this. I don't discuss that too much with them. So that is, they can, that something, because something is missing in their life, they have to be low on self-esteem. I don't enforce that kind of thinking into them. So that really helps. That I say, no, I acknowledge their emotions. When they tell me this is missing in my life, they cry or they do, I sit with them. I console them. I hear them out. I accept their feelings, everything. But because this is missing, you lack something, I don't enforce that kind of thinking into them. Yeah, the life has thrown this challenge at you at a very early age. I'm so sorry about it. And you were supposed to have it. I'm really extremely sorry. So I acknowledge their feeling, but I don't enforce that because of that you have to accept something less. I never do that. So that doesn't affect their self-image at all.
And Dipti, what do you do to strengthen your bond with your daughter? So you make it so strong that you both are there for each other.
I think the biggest way to strengthen any bond is to communicate. Communicate as much as possible. Sometimes, I don't know, we keep saying don't discuss this with your child, don't discuss, but there are certain things you need to discuss with your child. Like when you come home after a long day and you see the house very dirty, and you see, सब कुछ फैला हुआ है, and then you start shouting at the child कि भैया ये क्या कर रखा है, एक तो मम्मी आई है 7 बजे इतना थक के, and now you are, now you see, why couldn't you manage that? I don't do that. So when I come home, if I see a mess, I will quietly go to her and ask her, what happened? How was your day? How did you? So the first step to communication is to listen. So I listened to her first. Did you eat? I had put that food for you. Did you eat that? Whom did you communicate to? Did the domestic help you? So I first talked to her. And then if I had any issues, then I will talk about it next day. Okay, today I'm going to be late. But when I come home, I really love it when I just see everything organized. Otherwise, it makes me a bit angry. So at the heat of the moment, I just don't do anything. And when they come and tell me that they have done something wrong, my immediate response is to just say quiet. Okay, like the other day, my child came running. Mama, today I cheated in my exam. And that was, oh my God, what do you mean? That was the first response from me. And then I just said, okay, what happened? Kya hua? She said, I could just see into another's boy paper when he was writing. But I did not correct my own. Mine was wrong, but I did not correct. See, that wasn't a cheating at all. But she was feeling very anxious about it, that she even saw into that, that student's paper during exam. So the first thing my daughter would do is always come running to me, or my another daughter who is far. They will pick up the phone and say, this happened. And then I will be quiet for some time. I have developed this thing of being quiet, okay, and ask nicely what happened. Okay. So trust in your values. Trust, I have given you, my children, these values. They will never ever deter from those values. So that is what I do. So that's how I build the bond. And I listen to them, listen to everything they say. And I also, like, if I tell her you dress up properly, when she tells me, Mama, you wear this dress, I will also listen. I will also say, okay, let me wear because you want me to. So listen to them, communicate, and then do also, first you do what they want you to do. Then they will do what you want them to do. So it's a very slow process, but it's very rewarding also.
Dipti, in your experience with your daughters, when they come and they say that they are missing their father, how do you handle that?
I just sit with them. I will listen to them. I will give them a hug, because there are things I can't change. So I will just listen to them and acknowledge their feelings. That's all. And then if they tell me that because father is missing, something cannot be done, like we can't travel because father, I will try to overcome that. Like I did, because I was feeling that how will I travel alone if it is late night, or it is. So I found a secure place to, secure place to do this. How do I say that? Like, I found somebody who is trustworthy, where we can, even if we have to travel a little late, we can do that. Found places, accommodations which are safe to stay in. So those things I do. Yes, you miss your father figure, but you don't miss out anything in life because your father is missing. So that is what I say. I can't do what life has done to me. Okay, I can't do anything about it. So that is also one way to tell, okay, life sometimes might not be fair, but you just take what you have. Life throws lemon at you, you just make a lemonade, that's all, and enjoy it. That's all I can do.
And Dipti, how has being a single mom impacted your relationship with your in-laws or your parents, your siblings?
I think, relatives are a bit complicated, I should say. As you move forward, you are confident, they see you doing, things, that you can handle things, they come around. But if you go and try and tell them, no, you know what, I'm capable of doing this, or you want to get sympathy from them, you are not going to get that. And for that, you have to build that community. You have to build that community where you feel empowered, where you feel heard. Like one of my friends said, your daughter is spoiled. And I can understand she is spoiled because your husband, she doesn't have a father, and my husband also stays away. So sometimes I also spoil my daughter. And I was like, you really don't understand. It's very different from not having a father to see your father. I mean, like agni dete ho apne father ko, tumne di hai, kisi bacche ne di hai, and you have a father staying away. That's not one and the same thing. And that was so disrespectful also. But what do? I just understand. And say, okay, sorry, she doesn't understand. Because there's no point in arguing. And my mantra is, don't put your energy where it is not needed. Choose your battles wisely. So I don't give too much energy to them. It's okay. You understand, don't understand. It's fine with me.
The community that you are building on and the community that you are relying on, how has this support system helped you grow and become a better single mom?
No, the support system helps because, now we have similar challenges. And sometimes you see that, oh my God, I'm even better off from some of them. Some of them are even facing acute financial problems, or their children are too grown up to listen to them. So that tells you, okay, God has at least given me a lot of things, and we I don't know, the same kind of people, they always help. There's many empowered moms also who help, who become an inspiration. So we keep helping each other. The biggest help is to find somebody who can understand your challenges, your struggles. So that is what I have received from there.
Riti, in the middle of managing all these responsibilities, mentally, physically, emotionally, also to a greater extent, how do you find time for self-care?
Self-care is not an option. That is mandatory. Like, you have to tie your own seatbelt before you tie the seatbelt for other person. You have to breathe yourself first before you can, put a mask for another person. So it's not about finding time. That is very essential. That is what you have to do. Self-care, for me, self-care is not for going to spa. Self-care is about feeling good. Okay, you have to feel good. Even if, for me, feeling good is if I'm dressed well, if I am nice and clean, I put my own perfume, and I make my hair and everything, I feel good. Even if I'm wearing nice dress, even if I don't have to go outside. So for me, self-care is dressing up in the morning, making that nice tea for myself, which I like, doing my yoga, my little bit of movement, and listening to the music. So I find self-care a daily habit, not that I have to put special time for self-care. I say self-care is supposed to be a habit if I have to do better. Okay, so that is what is self-care. And of course, I would still emphasize that there are times when you can't do certain things because your partner is missing. Like, if I want to go to the parlor, and there's no one to look after my child, of course I can't. But then I find alternate solutions to most of the problems. Like, okay, I'll find somebody to do my beauty therapy at home. I find somebody to, so I keep I don't stop. I keep finding alternate situation, because as if my vibrations, my energy goes down, I understand that the energy of the entire house will go down. So I don't let that happen.
Dipti, what legacy or value you would want to give to your child as a single mom?
I think the biggest legacy is to prioritize self-respect, as well as to prioritize other people, to respect other people. I think that is one thing I would always vote for. That if you find somebody disrespecting you, you have to draw a line, and you are not also allowed to disrespect anybody. So that is the legacy I would say you must take forward. So you do how you want to be treated. That's very important. Okay, and that doesn't matter whoever is in front of you, whoever is there, if it is a celebrity or it is your domestic help. In all cases, you have to make sure you respect each other.
Hey, so Dipti, nice talking to you. I am glad I could get to hear your views, and also the audience would get to understand the challenges of single mom. Thank you so much, Dipti, for coming and sharing your views. And I wish you a lot of success in your coaching journey.
Thank you so much, Namrata, and I just loved having here with you. And I also look forward to get some response from the audiences, what they think about this new niche.
To all my single moms who are watching this video, tell me what was the one thing that resonated with you from the deep talk that you heard. I would like to know from you. Please give your views in the comment section below. I would read and reply to each comment that is posted. To all the single moms who are watching this video, tell me which is the one thing that resonated to you and that you would like to implement in your life in building a relationship with your child. Please give your views in the comment section below. I personally read all comments and reply to each of them. Thank you.